Okay. Hello, hello. We're getting started. Okay, good. It started on YouTube. Let's hope that I can get it to work. Please. Hey, hey. Okay, good. We are up on YouTube. Love it, love it. Let's hope that my chat feature starts working. Hey y'all, how's it going? Welcome to Ramsass, now with a sick new horizontal format and a slightly different vertical format. You guys want to let me know, the texture looks really cool on the horizontal version, but it kind of just does make it look like your screen is dirty on the vertical, so if you hate that, I can take it off, because I don't know how I feel about it either. Hello Abstract Parallel, and hello Joe Dirt over on YouTube. Thank you so much. I do try to go all out for my Ramsass looks. Tyan OK says, well, hello. Well, hello. Hello. Hi. My bangs are way too long now. I do have an appointment coming up to get my hair refreshed because it's not supposed to be this weird, like, squillium fancy sun look. It's definitely not supposed to be that. So... what do I mean by show me the Bible God? The Bible God? Show me that. Hope that helped. Mesorate. I look so magical, like the forest critters are going to come help convert people to atheism. Maybe. This is an atheist Sunday school. This is Ramsass. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the overlay either, but this is robotgoat's absolutely maniacal substitute for atheist Sunday school. I think I'm gonna get rid of the... Yeah, we don't need that shit. Good morning, PK Heathen. There we are. Much better. The blue roses are lovely. Thank you so much. I got this from like a vintage shop up in Michigan when I was visiting Rat Soup before we were together. I'm gonna adjust this a teensy tiny bit. Yeah, I put you guys in the pews. And if you happen to want to stop by the YouTube version has a sick new horizontal layout. So, Red Soup, it's so funny that you talk about the dress. I was just telling you that I got it in Michigan. Yeah, he's from all over the place. But he happened to be in Michigan when I caught him in my web, when I seduced him. God, I hate how the bangs look today. We will get through it, though. You've just earned yourself a fun, quiet time. So, yes, a little bit different look all around. Hi, Doug Debug. So hopefully you guys like it. I like it. I think it looks really cool. Look, babe, it's not just snow, it's the cold, okay? I am not built for the cold. Pink and Blue Shark, hello, and thank you for the raid last night. Thank you for the hand heart, Doug. I appreciate it. My name on YouTube is technically robotgoat with all the vowels taken out, but I think if you just search robotgoat, I do come up. Ugh, I'm gonna be messing with these the whole time. I'm so sorry. Thank you for the hat, Doug Debug. Happy Sunday! Thank you so much. Well, people still came over and said that you sent them, so I count that as a raid, Pink and Blue Shark. Rally Doubt, thank you so much. I was on my own live last night, but I was on Mezzo's the night before, and then Joel's before that. I bother them a lot. Yeah, I gotta cover up the bangs. I have several funny hats over here that I could use. Oh, my strawberry hat would work well right now, wouldn't it? My strawberry hat would cover up my bangs. Do we want strawberry hat? I'm gonna do a poll. If you guys want, I'll go get my strawberry. Thank you, Shadow, for saying pretty colors. Robotgoat with all the vowels is just lowercase. I mean, that's my channel name, but my, like, @ username is technically robotgoat. When am I not on live? Well, this is my only morning one. Or morning one. So I go live on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. I usually miss Monday and Wednesday. Okay, I see a vote for strawberry over on YouTube as well. Okay, it looks like I'm gonna have to get the strawberry hat out. Babe, since I know you're watching, it should be on the top shelf in the closet. Would you be able to bring me my strawberry hat? No, that's fair. That's what he says when he's gonna do it anyway. But I have a plethora of hats that I've made. It's my fun little thing. Galaxy Parrot says, "Hail Satan." Well, alright. You do you, boo. Saying no while doing the thing brings you endless joy. Yeah, we both are very guilty of that in this house. Just like, hey, babe, could you do this tiny little favor? No. No. Happy Ramsass! It's interesting how someone with the username Don't Care seems to care so much about what atheists do. Oh my god, my mic is like super far away. Can you guys hear me okay? If I was a teacher, what would my students call me? Professor. Sure. Coach. I moved the mic a little bit closer, so the audio should be better quality now. I was listening back, and it actually sounded a little too loud to me before. People are always telling me how quiet I sound. But I sounded really, really loud last night. Hi. Thank you.
You're welcome. I love you.
Love you. Where's a good spot to do it? This is a good spot. There we are. Over the headphones? Yes, no, maybe? That's fine. It's supposed to go under the headphones. Give me just a second. Yeah. That's better. I sound worse now? Ugh. It's probably because the volume is cranked up so high. How about now? Do I sound okay now? I did wash my hair recently. Look, it was wash day. Really, it was overdue for a wash day. Do I jump on the pour? What does that mean, and why are you spamming it? know what that means. Anyway, here's my strawberry hat. This is one of the earlier hats that I made. I like it. I think it's cute. Where's Mezzo? Dead. Just kidding. Mezzo's probably not dead. Don't know why I sounded so disappointed about that. Strawberry shortcake? Maybe. What hand motion am I doing? Okay, Mezzo is not dead. He's probably at soccer. I know, he is my future stepson once I marry Darth Dawkins. Schrodinger's Mezzo is a fantastic band name. It is. Yeah, he'll be back in 3 days. Don't worry. That's from Dr. Pizza MD over on YouTube. Can't claim credit for that one. Ooh, the chat box is slightly too big. Let's shrink that so it doesn't bother me. Yay! Does it feel gross to even say that out loud? Joking about marrying Darth Dawkins? No, because I'm dead inside. And I have a fun little strawberry hat. It needs to be turned around. Okay, I'm gonna adjust it again. Because you can't see the leaves. So I don't want to look silly in my strawberry hat. There we are. I didn't do very well on the brim of this one since it was one of the first hats that I made. So the brim's a little bit wonky. I still like it though. I still think it's cute. I gotta kind of fold up the brim to put the headphones back on. There we go. Some of the Christians might be in church. But if they're not, then they should come up and talk with me. They should say a thing, perhaps. But it's been pretty quiet on the guest front lately. I don't know why that is. I don't know if they're scared, if they're pissing their little pants. Okay, well, I'm not going to accept someone by that name. But I am going to block you. I think, you guys can see why I might have blocked that person. For those over on YouTube, their name was just slurs. So that's cool. I wonder what useful information that person would have added to the discussion. I'm sure it would have been super cool and respectful. What evidence am I looking for when I say show me? Something that would reasonably convince me. The Christians are being mean to the waitstaff at brunch and tipping poorly. Give them a bit. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? No one can convince me. Well, God could convince me, so he should send someone to convince me if he's real. Unless he's not. Uh-oh. If someone can gaslight you enough, you'd be convinced. Honestly, if someone pulled just like a Hereditary or Rosemary's Baby and just had a whole group of people trying to fuck me up, maybe I would. Donkey Kong has been sent by God. Oh, fuck, God must be real. Can you ask a question? You just did. Who's to say God wouldn't be a woman? Well, the Bible. really, I mean, God the Father wouldn't be a man either. Outcast says, poor little girl, what happened? Someone pissing your Cheerios? I eat frosted mini wheats, you cunt. If God was a woman, the world wouldn't be so awful. You know, that was the question when I was on Truth Wanted the other night that they asked the audience was, you know, what would be different or what would be better if God was a woman? I said that there would be like a built-in neon sign pointing to the clit. And I stand by that. Never have to wonder where it is again. Rutabaga, thank you. I like this little hat. Maybe I'll keep it. Clitneons.com. No one go there. Hey, Matt. Do I believe evil exists? I believe good and evil are labels that we assign to certain things based on whether we think that we ought or ought not do them. So I don't believe they exist as like transcendental categories, but I believe that we apply that as a label to things. I feel like TikTok put a filter over my face. Because I feel like I don't just look like this. I look blurry. Yeah. Okay. I definitely look blurry. I don't like this. What the... Ah! This is a thing that you can do on TikTok. Oh, I hate that. What? Oh. I'm sorry, YouTube, you can't see any of this, but, be assured, it is horrifying. It is lengthening my neck. Oh, I hate that. You could also do leg length, but I don't have my legs on screen. What would that even do? That's strange. That's really weird. But I feel like, yeah, I feel like it's smoothed, you know? My legs would grow in real life if I use that. Ew, no! I can... Ah! This is terrifying! Why is this a thing? Okay. Obviously, I gotta... Hey guys, welcome to Ramsass. This is terrifying. I hate this. Look, horizontal gang, be glad you're not witnessing this because I look like I just stepped out of a Japanese photo booth. It is terrifying. Why does it look like... Oh. Whew. Okay. I don't want to do that again. I hated that. But just keep that in mind when you're watching people stream on TikTok, that that's something that they can do. Because that was very scary. Well, no one was right. You guys should be liking the live. Like real-time Facetune? Yeah, pretty much. But, oh, it looks so uncanny. I hate that. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I usually don't even wear makeup on stream. I just do for Ramsass. Thank you for sharing, Rutabaga. You know what? Let's share this live. We're gonna share with someone... We're gonna share with someone who would prefer cake over pie. That's who we're gonna share with today. Horizontal gang, there are dozens of us. You guys in the never nudes in an unsteady alliance. we are the perfect distance from the sun? No. There's a pretty wide habitable zone. Mars is also in it. Venus is almost in it. So. And we also are getting slightly further from the sun over time because as it loses mass, the gravitational force between us and the sun grows weaker, which means that our orbit gets just a little bit bigger. Body dysmorphia is very profitable? Yeah, it is. It really is. There's some interesting conversation going on in the TikTok chat and YouTube. I hope you can see it because of the dual streaming thing, but there's some talk going on about objective morality. Yeah, I don't believe that there is like one objective source of morality. I would say that we can have objective morals just through logical consistency, you know, granting the same rights and freedoms to other people that we wish to have ourselves, with some of the most fundamental being like our life and our well-being. This hat, I made this hat. I crocheted it. If we were the perfect distance from the sun, would it still give us cancer? Yeah, good question. For a finely tuned universe, for the big old star in the sky to give us cancer is not great. Engineer, thank you for the Go Popular, and hello, it's good to see you here. Ram's ass. Are y'all ready to ram some ass today? So if someone said grape is okay, who's to say they're wrong if it's just an individual? So the thing with that is, again, it's just logical consistency. If you think that you as a moral agent have a right to your life and well-being because you are a moral agent, then you would also have to grant that to others to be consistent.
Hello?
Hey, I'm gonna guess that your name is Jake. You
Yes.
over 18?
Yep.
Great. And what pronoun should we use for you, Jake?
He, him.
Wonderful. What's your religion or lack thereof?
I'm not really religious, but I grew up Christian. I mean, I guess you could say, like, I believe in God, and, like, I guess you'd say that it'd be a Christian God, but I don't believe morality is objective.
Okay, well, can you show me the Bible God?
What?
Can you show me the Bible God?
No.
All right.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, can I get your name, age, and pronouns?
My name's Rat Soup. I'm 411. He, him.
I thought you were 900.
Shh. That's embarrassing.
Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to age shame you. I'm not ageist. So Rat Soup, what is your religion or lack thereof, and why are you so cute?
Christ before Jesus says he's a 411 centimeters.
Hey.
I was listening to Jaron on Deconstruction Zone the other day with Justin, and that was really, really good. A lot of good stuff on the mythicist side of the debate that I have started adopting, to be honest. I definitely need to pick up that book. But I was going to talk about morality a little bit more with people in the comments. It's a shame they're not requesting up. Do we have one requesting up?
We do now. Jared says, thank you, Mr. Soup.
Well, it was a really, really good stream. Thank you.
Hey, is your name Savi?
Yeah, what's up?
All right, you above 18?
I am.
And what pronoun should we use for you?
Him.
All right, what's your religion or lack thereof, Savi?
I believe in a true and living God, Jesus Christ.
So, what religion would that be?
Christianity.
Great. And your mic is kind of brushing up against something. If you can move it away from whatever it might be hitting.
Okay, is that better?
For now, yes. Yeah, so are you... Okay, it just got worse.
Oh, yeah,
Just
no, I just moved it, but go on.
okay, yeah, just try not to brush up against it. So yeah, are you able to show me the Bible God today?
Yeah, what do you mean?
The Bible God? Show me.
Show you,
Like
like,
demonstrate it.
physically? Okay, you want me to,
Like when you saw the prompt, what went through your head that made you decide to call up?
I was really wondering how, like, an atheist can critique the Bible.
So you just can't read.
No, I can read, I just
Oh, okay. So have you read
disregarded
the
it.
Bible and
I
come to
just
a part that makes you think
real
God
quick.
is in it?
You asked me a question. Yes, I could read. I just disregarded that prompt until I got my clarification. Then I was gonna ask, what do you mean by show you? Because that would be it's almost implying that you all are making a category error. But I didn't want to assume that about you all.
Oh, okay. So when you see this prompt, you just decided to change your mind about what it was saying? You just didn't
No,
want to engage with
you
it?
heard him. He said he wanted to ignore it.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Well, no,
that's
not
what I was
ignore
figuring
it,
out.
but roundabout back to it after I got some clarifying questions answered that would help me better answer the prompt.
So you don't understand what it means to show the Bible God. You don't understand what that means.
Not without assuming that you all are making a category error. No,
What
Oh,
category
okay.
error would
So
that be?
yeah, go on with that.
God is a metaphysical entity, meaning there's no way to physically show you God. So
Wait,
that
so
would be a
Jesus was a
category error.
metaphysical entity?
No, he
Was
was
the
God
act of
incarnate.
creation metaphysical?
He, the act of creation
Yeah, is
was
that
metaphysical.
metaphysical?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
it's physical because creation is physical, bud.
No, the thing created is physical, yes, but
Yep,
the
creation is
action,
physical. Yeah,
So what
but
you're
he's
saying is
creating
that
a
the
physical object is
God
physical.
real
interacts
quick,
with the
you asked
physical
me about the
universe?
action.
Right.
To answer the first question, you asked about the action of God to create the universe, which was
Yeah, I
a
don't think we
metaphysical.
asked anything
That
actually. We were just
you said
talking
was
about
the
it.
no, you said
Kind
specifically.
of putting you in your place a little bit, to be honest with you.
Sure, I don't think you remember you were tracking. You literally said, was the action of God creating the universe metaphysical? And I
Right.
said
And then I
yes.
answered it. I said, no, it was a rhetorical question. Do you understand how those work? That was a question.
Well, that's kind
It
of a
clearly
rhetorical
wasn't
question.
rhetorical. Yeah, that was rhetorical, but the
Okay.
first one wasn't
Okay.
rhetorical because you literally got it wrong.
All right, can we stop this fucking whining about the meta? You know what we mean when we say show us the Bible God. We mean demonstrate to us. We don't mean you literally have to show us like an image of God.
No,
We're
babe,
asking
he's
you to
genuinely a fucking idiot. He
demonstrate the
genuinely doesn't understand.
reality of the
He
biblical
genuinely cannot
God
put
to
this together.
us.
This guy, he's even talking over you because he has no conviction. But okay, I'm sorry, host. Can you repeat your question?
I'll correct him if I need to. Okay.
Well, I
Zombie?
couldn't hear your question.
Yeah, so I said, you know what we mean by show us the Bible God. We don't mean you literally have to show us a physical image of God. We mean we want you to demonstrate the reality of that God to us.
Okay. So do you believe that all ideas necessitate a mind, or no?
Ideas, yes.
Like all ideas are derived of a mind, correct?
Because in the absence of minds, there would be no such thing as ideas. So yes.
Correct, and I would agree. So do you believe there are objectively true concepts or abstract ideas? There's no objectively true abstract idea?
The idea itself cannot be
I'm
objectively
sorry,
true.
not abstract idea, because I was. Well, yeah, I didn't mean to say that.
Yeah, ideas cannot
Right.
be objective.
You're preparing to conflate the prospect of ideas with other items in the universe, such as
No, so the laws of logic are conceptual. They are conceptual
The
things
laws
that are proven
are
true.
the laws of logic are, but the concepts behind them are not.
right. Laws of logic apply to propositions. That they are not. So the laws of logic, they're not necessarily the same thing as the way the universe actually operates, and the ideas are not the same things as the things that the ideas are representing.
No, so the laws of logic. Let me get this right, because you said a lot. The laws of logic do
Apply to
not
propositions.
okay, and do not represent how our reality works.
They represent it, but they are not identical with the way the reality works.
They are us conceptualizing how our reality works, which is independent from the way reality works.
So
It's our
okay,
understanding of it, not the thing itself.
In the same
Okay.
way, an idea is not the thing itself; it is our representation of the thing itself.
An idea is not the thing itself; it's a representation of the thing itself.
Yep,
Yeah,
it is
the
a
map
mind's
is not
representation of the thing.
the map of a place is not the same thing as the place.
Okay, so let's be a little bit more specific.
We've been
The
pretty
law of
specific.
identity. I mean, that was kind of vague. Analogies are always vague.
So what we said
real
is
quick,
the map of the
real quick,
place
okay.
is not the same as the place itself.
Right,
Our
that's an
our
analogy,
means
that's
of
vague.
conceptualizing
okay.
something is not the same thing as the thing we are trying to conceptualize.
Yeah, no, I understood what you said, but I feel like if we specify it, then it doesn't hold true. So with the law of identity, is a tree not a tree? Can a tree be anything other than a tree?
It is,
You're
but the
s-
idea of a tree is not a tree. So the thing itself is still not identical to the thing if the idea of the tree is different from a tree.
So hear what you said. You're I don't think you're making the understanding the distinction between the law and what is identifying.
Yeah,
Right,
you
so the
are the
law of
one
identity
failing to
is
make
the-
that distinction, actually.
Okay.
The thing must be identical with the thing itself. However, the idea of a tree is not identical to a tree.
Right. Okay. But the part that's physical there is the tree. The part that is an abstract idea is that a tree can only be a tree. Do you agree?
Right, but the idea is a different thing than the tree. They're not connected
Hold on.
whatsoever.
Hold on. Is that idea hold true objectively?
The tree is a tree.
Yeah.
Does it hold true objectively? No. If it's an idea, it has to be within a mind. So it'll be a category error to call an idea something that objective. An idea
Wait, what?
only exists within a mind.
No, that's not a category error.
Yes, it is. An idea only exists within a mind. Objective
was
must
There's
be
no
outside of a
objective
mind.
ideas.
Hold on, real quick, because you all are not tracking. My initial statement was that all ideas are derived and necessitate a mind. So we're
Yeah,
on the
and
same
that's
page
silly.
there. Hold on, that's silly. How can
Yes,
an idea
from a necessitated mind, yeah.
How can an idea can exist
Thank
outside
you
of
for
a
the
mind?
sheep leap, Kaisak.
No, but there are multiple minds. There isn't a necessary mind for all ideas to come
That's
from.
not what I said. You're not tracking. That's not what
You
I
said a
said.
necessitated mind.
No,
Savi.
meaning
You
if you
misspoke,
have an
Savi.
idea, if you have
It's
an
okay.
idea, sure. If you have an idea, there is a mind holding this idea. Can we agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, before you overtalk me, you
Don't
know,
cry, get to
this-
substance.
I am, but I feel like you're not tracking because
Stop
you're
crying,
ready.
get to substance.
God,
Because you're ready
Savi,
to
you're being a whiny
respond.
little bitch baby right now. Just
But
say your
you see
point.
what I'm saying?
Fuck.
I can't even prepare the point without him.
You're not
already
preparing
ready
have
the
to
point.
wind
You're
up by
whining
crying
about the
for 10
meta.
minutes.
Y'all are the one in the nasally voice.
Y'all are
How
the
am I
one.
whining?
Because you
Okay.
have a whine in your tone, dude. Like literally. I
Sure,
don't know how else to
sure.
explain it to you.
I'll grant that. Okay. Now that we're on the same page, that ideas are derived from a mind cannot exist without a mind. The idea that a tree is always a tree is true objectively in our existence.
No.
No.
So a tree could be a bird.
Objectively is not the same as always.
The
Objectively means it
idea-
occurs outside of a mind. It can
the
be always
I-
true and still be subjective.
Objective does not mean
idea
it occurs
is a
outside
separate-
of a mind.
The idea, objective does mean it occurs outside of a mind.
That's
The
not true.
idea, that's the
Well, go
definition
on.
of objective, is mind independent.
Subject independent.
No.
Okay, sure.
It's mind or stance independent. So the idea of a tree always being a tree, that is not objective.
Well, first, is it true?
It is true, but that has
It's
nothing to do with
true.
objectivity.
That doesn't
Okay.
make it objective.
Objective, in the way I'm using it, refers to outside of an independent belief or opinion.
That's just using it wrong.
Yeah, you're using it
So
incorrectly.
the reason it's subjective
Objective.
is that wait, let me finish. The reason it's subjective is because for it to be an idea, there always has to be a perceptive mind in order to make it true. So the idea of a tree is a tree can only be true if there is a subjective observer there to say it is true.
I
Without
agree
the subjective
100%.
observer, without the mind, it is
Now we're
cannot
getting
be
somewhere.
objective. So therefore, the idea
Well-
that a tree is a tree cannot be objectively true because it always requires a subjective observer.
Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. My
This has been it from the
conclusion.
beginning, idiot.
Okay, real quick before you keep going with insults, I know you're standing on sand, so
You
it's hard
keep
to
just muttering
balance.
in circles and circles. You kind of you
Sure.
stick
No,
in the
I.
rhetoric and you complain and whine about it for a little bit. Just skip to the substance. Get the out of your voice and just get to it.
Sure. Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
You said that
So
already.
yeah, and I had to reiterate it because you were
Because you're
conflating.
stupid and you're caught in a loop.
I love it.
Do
So
you? You sound like it.
I actually do.
Bend over a little bit further for me.
Because that's just the sound of the demons coming out of you. I feel
Demons.
it. Yeah, you got demons causing delusions in your mind to allow you to believe that God is not the mind that is the objective grounding for
So
these
minds
ideas.
can't be objective. That's been the whole problem this whole time.
Minds cannot be objective.
God's mind is the our objective reality,
Objective mind is an oxymoron.
if you say so. But it definitely appeals to our reality, though.
No, it
You could
doesn't.
say
If I say
it does.
so.
It really
Yeah,
doesn't.
you could say that.
The
but
definition of objective
real
is
quick,
mind
can I-
independent.
Sure.
There cannot be a mind
Sure.
independent mind.
Sure. Sure. So if you hold true that God is the objective mind, meaning
Why would
the
we hold
mind,
that?
well, just let me finish, and then you can. say
Well,
what
you're
you
not
wanna say.
addressing anything that's being told to you. You're just
I've
kind of
been
going on
I've been
your own
addressing
thing.
everything.
Not
I've been
really.
addressing
You
everything.
kind of been pushing your own
No,
thing the whole time
notice
without
how you
actually
had to say
stopping
not
to
really.
talk about it.
Notice how you had to say
Yeah,
not
I
really
have to
because I
say
am
it to like
actually
get you to
addressing
stop
it.
talking so I can continue talking. It's
Oh,
really
well,
that
go
simple.
on. Well, go on. What were you
Okay.
saying?
Well, I was pretty much finished there, but my point
what are
is
you
you've been
talking
going
about?
on through your whole thing the whole time without actually addressing points we're bringing up, like, hey, this is not what objective means. Hey, this isn't how objective works. Hey, this idea is actually still
I did address
subjective.
that.
You're not really. You're just kind of saying,
I
all right, and then
literally.
going on and continuing to talk without actually going back and saying,
Go
yeah,
on.
actually, maybe this idea is objective because it's this, or I can defend that this idea is objective because of this, this, and this. You're not really doing that. You're just kind of moving on with your points.
No, I disagree with how you are using objective.
Okay, can you
And
elaborate on your disagreement and defend your own
and then
way of using objective?
and then I went in explicitly stating how I'm using objective, and you all disagree with that, which is okay. I get the contingency.
Okay, so do you think we're just lying about the definition? Should we go look up the definition, or are you
No, I
saying that
don't.
you're using your own bespoke definition
It's a very
specifically because you want to
idiosyncratic.
use your own? Yeah.
You're redefining objective to make it fit what you want it to be, and that's just not
No,
the definition.
I'm defining objective in a way to elicitate what my idea that I'm trying to
Elicitate?
provoke. Yes, the idea that I'm trying
Just
to provoke.
elicit. The word's just elicit.
Or
elicit.
elucidate. But you also said
Okay,
contingency
yeah.
when I think you meant contention. So if you're going to use a bunch of words, you need to know what they mean. And objective is one of them.
Sure. I was speaking fast on the elicit, and elucidate or whatever. But that I think the
Our
point
point
of
is you're
language.
using
Hold on,
words
hold on, hold on.
incorrectly.
Sure. But the point of language is to get understanding, and if you understand what I'm saying, that's all that should really matter.
Right, but the thing
So
is
if I
you're
define-
also
hold on,
you're then
real quick,
equivocating
real quick.
using
Oh
your
my
you're
goodness
using your false
gracious.
definitions
This
to
guy cannot
equivocate
stop
with the
talking.
actual definitions. Dude, you yap for 10 minutes and then start going, hold on the moment I open my mouth. You need to calm down a little bit. This conversation has multiple people in it. We get to talk at once. So what I'm saying is you use these definitions falsely, and then you equivocate as if the meaning still holds to the actual definition when it doesn't. That is dishonest. And that is why we're calling you out on it.
It's not dishonest if I continue with my definition in the way I'm using the word, so that you understand how I'm using the word, even if it is not aligned with the normal way that Westernized civilization, i.e. America, uses the term. Correct? So if I'm explaining
No, it's
how I'm
not
using the
correct.
term, that is correct in the actions I took. to
No,
help
because you
understand
are
what I'm saying.
equivocating using like connections with
This
with
is
these
going to have to
words,
be a
with these
kickball because I'm tired of
associations
listening to this shit.
that are false. Okay, yeah, I'm about done. He's driven himself in circles a few times anyway.
Well, I'm going
Okay.
to give people the opportunity to decide.
Oh, fair enough.
I mean, you all could kick me if you don't want to have an honest conversation. I could tell Rat never wanted to have an honest conversation. But Robot, I do appreciate you trying to maintain some type of genuine.
What's the last book you read, Savi?
The Bible,
Oh yeah, what translation?
KJV.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Does it? Have you ever read Corinthians 1, 2 through 14?
I don't remember that off the top of my head. What does it
Which
say?
And that was
Corinthians?
my First Corinthians. And that was actually one of the first questions I brought up because it's actually it invalidates everything that you all think or you all's internal critique on the Bible. You know, it disproves
What
that
internal critique was that?
any internal critique you have. I'm not suggesting you made one in our
Any of
conversation,
the
but
internal critiques?
Any
it
of them.
says show
Okay.
me. Yeah, all of them.
You've been voted off, Savi.
Sorry about that, babe.
He is who he is.
The roasting vocal fry at the end there. Sorry, that got me too much.
Yeah, it's gonna be an L for the glossary. Okay. Fuck. I did just get restricted for harassment and bullying.
I'm sorry. That was probably me going too hard on there.
It says it's only for 10 minutes. We'll see how that goes.
Is it related? It would tell you if it was me, right? Well, it was still me.
Hey, can I get your name, age, and pronouns?
Jimmy over 18 and whatever pronouns you prefer.
All right, she, her, it is.
That's fine.
All right, so, Jimmy, what is your religion or lack thereof?
I'm a perennialist.
Oh, so you worship the taint?
No, an adherent of the perennial philosophy.
Yeah, I've heard of the perennium before. It's the taint.
No, that's not what I said. It's also called the primordial tradition or Prisca Theologia.
So it's the taint theologia?
No, I'm not saying perineum. I'm saying perennial.
I don't hear a difference. It's
Well,
just like
there is a difference.
Wingardium Leviosa versus Wingardium Leviosa, right?
Well, Aldous Huxley wrote a book called The Perennial Philosophy, and it's a reference to that.
Okay, and someone wrote a book called Pounded by Produce, and I reference that all the time by,
Is that Chuck
getting
Needle?
off with a cucumber.
Well, it's a perspective on the world's major religions. It has nothing to do with the space between your, anus and genitals.
Then why would they name it the same word?
It's not the same word.
Okay. Sure, bud.
You know why they call it the taint?
Because it
taints
taint your
bits and it
butthole.
taints your butt.
Yeah, so what are some of the, tenets of taintism?
It sees mysticism as the core or origin of the world's major religions.
Okay, so
And-
religions aren't real? Cool, that's great. Does that include taintism?
Well, no, it doesn't mean religions aren't real. There's a lot of studies within the neuroscience of religion involving mystical experience, or what William James called mystical experience. And, I would recommend looking into there if you want to learn more about it.
I don't really want to look into taintism. I'm pretty sure that when people say prayers and taintism, instead of lying prostrate, they lie prostate. I don't know, Jimmy. You kind of came in here, said a bunch of bullshit that meant nothing, and I don't really know what's contributing to the conversation.
Well, I mean, it is backed in neuroscience, like I said.
Does it have to do with the
So
Bible?
you've claimed.
Yeah, I mean, if he says the Bible God, and if you think of the context of Christianity, revelation is usually how someone is shown the divine. They call it the beatific vision or the direct revelation of the Holy Spirit, the Damascus Road experience.
Right, but
There's
that
a lot
was
of
all
names.
fake, and Paul probably didn't even exist.
Well, the thing is that we have modern neuroscience that could actually map that phenomenon to what neuroscientists today refer to as mystical
So
experience.
I've actually looked into self-reported mystical experiences before. All of these different studies and stuff, none of these people are able to report outside information that they didn't already know. They aren't able to have out-of-body experiences and look behind them. These self-reported mystical experiences are literally just feelings most likely produced by the pineal gland. They are not evidence of the supernatural or of minds existing outside of the brain.
It's penile gland, babe.
Penile? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I understand. Well, why would it be associated by the pineal gland? There's speculation. If you're
said it.
referring
Right,
to
because a
like,
mystical experience is just a feeling that someone gets. It's a self-reported feeling of connection with the divine. It is not, in fact, or sometimes like there's like a greater world connection where you feel like everything is universal, like a universal body experience, something like that. But all of these things are just sensations that occur within brains.
well, I think a more accurate take would be, I kind of don't like to say it this way because of the TikTok censorship, but ego unalive. That sounds so ridiculous to say it that way.
The thing is I've experimented when I was younger a lot, and I've been there, and it's just something that happens within your brain. It's not actually magical.
Well, I mean, I don't think anyone's arguing that it's magical, not even the professionals.
The thing is that the association with a lot of these people who try to bring up this association of a mystical experience within these studies, they use this term mystical experience, which is used in this study to refer specifically to the sensory experience. They use it to make proof of supernatural things, such as minds being able to exist independent of brains and bodies.
No, that's not at all what these professionals are saying.
Well, so
I mean,
here's the thing with a lot of this idea of perennial philosophy is it involves minds having to exist beyond brains and bodies in physical form, and that's just not proven.
No, see, I think I mean, I don't know how deeply you've looked into it, but that's not all. I mean, that's not at all close to what these professionals are saying. They do deem it as a biologically normal phenomenon. What they're saying is that it maps over character per characteristic over what mystics throughout the ages have experienced in the world's major religions, whether you're talking about the nirvana of Buddhism or samadhi of Hinduism or the Holy Spirit of Christianity.
Right. What I'm saying is they've noticed all of these states are like trances, brain wave trances that you can specifically enter into through triggering certain parts of the brain. These mystical experiences are just they're essentially no different than a psychedelic experience. It's something chemical.
Sure, but I mean, I think the implication that you're trying to, I guess, reduce it to is that you're trying to say, oh, this is merely brain activity. This is all just the brain at work.
Yes.
Oh no, the kick poll voted him off. We won't get to listen to that boring shit anymore. Oh no.
Fair. But yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Yeah, it's all in the brain.
Sorry, but that was nothing. That was
Yeah.
just so many words to say nothing. I was about to fall asleep.
Don't blame me. The only reason I know about it is because there is this guy in YouTube comments named Cafe with a K that I talked to for a long, long time about this, went back and forth and read back and forth so much about it.
Well, I am going to look into taintism now. I appreciate him just being as pedantic as possible while bringing that up. So, yay! Sean, he was voted off by the kick poll. My hands were tied. Oh, sorry, she was voted off by the kick poll. Here I am, misgendering her. And thank you.
There is some good evidence that the consciousness is generated by the brain. Like Phineas Gage is great evidence. Every split brain experiment is great evidence. Everything that we have associated with shows evidence that, like, if you alter the brain and alter specific parts of the brain, you can alter that consciousness within it. So that seems to indicate, according to everything we can see, that the brain is generating that consciousness. If it was just a receiver, it would be potentially a lot more simple. All the parts that are like creating the consciousness could be stored elsewhere, and the brain would just be like an antenna. You wouldn't need to be a whole these complicated bits. Anyway, sorry, it's still boring.
I like the part where he said genitals.
I like the part where we both knew the taint joke.
I think you told it to me before.
Did I? I read it in some like old country book, like Lewis Grizzard or something like that.
Pokey, it's all right that you are late. You're still welcome in here at Ramsass. And hello, Schley, and hello, Crystal.
Are you still letting people up for like one real quick thing, or?
I'll let people come up to share a thing, to talk about their atheisms.
All right, just because it seems like a little bit.
Yeah,
slow
Pokey,
to get
I'm restricted because Rat Soup decided to bully someone.
I'm sorry. Do I need to go? Actually, though.
No, I think we just gotta wait out the 10 minutes.
Okay, I'm sorry about that again. I saw
Yeah.
your messages a little too late.
I was trying to be subtle about it, so we didn't have to talk about it on stream, but that too.
Yeah, I don't mind. It's your stream. If I do something bad, you're allowed to tell me I do something bad. If I need to calm down, I need to calm down. It's allowed,
Earl, calm the fuck down.
Ah!
I heard that. I heard that from here.
Well, like in person too.
Yeah. The lack of shaming here is making you question the Sunday school's credentials. I had considered, I don't know if it would get me in trouble, like, for copyright somehow, or, like, because I've considered reacting to, like, my old church's sermons on Ramsass when we don't have guests. I thought that might be a fun thing to do. But if they could then copyright claim my video or something, that would suck. So I think I could only do, like, 30 seconds at a time.
I mean, I feel like you could get away with it until you couldn't for a long time.
Yeah, but I don't want my church to be able to copyright claim my old church, obviously.
I mean, it's not like they have like, content trolls scanning YouTube just in case sort of thing. It would be pretty hard for them to find
Well,
it.
YouTube does do a copyright scan, and if it was a 1-for-1 match with a pre-existing YouTube video, they'd probably hone in on that.
I thought the copyright scan was like specifically like copyrighted and submitted content or something like that. Like I thought you had to like as a company get involved with that. I don't know.
I don't know. It's crazy. It caught me for when I did that cover of the Dear Evan Hansen song before.
What does the Rams part of Ramsass stand for? Someone wants to know.
It stands for Robot Goat's Absolutely Maniacal Substitute for Atheist Sunday School, because Mezzo decided to have kids way back in the day, and now they have soccer, and so we can't be here. Maybe I could read a script of it instead of playing video. I don't think that there's transcripts of it.
What about regular ones?
Cis scripts. Let's see. I know they do have like they have a deaf ministry.
What if the deaf people have been getting completely different sermons this whole time?
That would be so fucked up, but also hilarious. Oh, here's an interesting one. Does God care who I sleep with?
I'm sure that won't have anything problematic in it whatsoever.
Well, hey, how we doing tonight, friends? We doing good?
Oh, I'm so tempted. I'm so tempted. This looks like it's a guest speaker, because I don't know who this guy is.
Can we listen to a little bit, maybe?
No caption options.
Did you hear that PJ scream?
I don't know if I can.
No? Dang. Because it must get filtered by noise or something.
I'll put up a poll if you want me to play the audio from the sermon from my old church. Happy face. If not, frowny face.
You hear PJ?
Okay, fair amount of people do
There
want
we
to
go.
hear it. Have Rat Soup read the sermon transcript. Maybe. There was a cat sound? I didn't even hear the cat sound. Is one of the cats with you, babe?
Yeah, I put the microphone up to PJ. Can you
Oh
hear
yeah, I
me?
can't hear you anymore.
Yeah, you can't hear me.
That's strange.
I can say anything I want right now, and they'll never know. I can talk about how stinky they are, and they'd never hear about it. I can talk about how gay and stinky they are, and they'd never know.
Okay, well now I can hear you, and fuck you. I want to hear the cat again. Who was it? Was it PJ? I bet it was PJ.
It was PJ. It was like 3 times, actually. Let's see if we can do it one more time.
That's good stuff. Okay, overwhelmingly, people do want to hear the sermon. So I'm going to skip to a random part, so hopefully we're like in the meat of it. This is a sermon called Does God Care Who I Sleep With? And we'll do some reacting, critique the sermon, see how we feel about it.
Tom Cruise's character has had a one-night stand with Cameron Diaz's character. And she confronts him a bit later on in the movie, and she says these words to him. She says, when you sleep with someone, your body makes promises even if you don't.
I can't hear anything.
Oh, you can't? Can you guys hear it? They can. You can't?
That's fine then.
Well, I want you to be able to react to it too.
Yeah, I can't. Maybe I think there's like a guest audio like button somewhere, but I'm not sure how that works.
Well, sucks for you. All right.
Not a great movie, but that's a great line. When you sleep with someone, your body makes promises even if you don't. That's
When you sleep with someone, your body makes promises even if you don't. I do love this, like, this recurring theme in Christianity that it's like, when you sleep with someone, you're like forever entwined with them, or your body is forever tainted. It's very strange purity culture bullshit. Yeah, I don't like it. Ooh, okay, let me see if I can. Yeah, I don't think I can add my. I can't add YouTube as an audio input source. Damn.
actually the way sex is designed to work in the Bible. That's what this command is getting at. And it's deeply challenging because Jesus says this is what our hearts are like. Our hearts are naturally adulterous.
Our hearts are naturally adulterous. Wow. That... What a crazy way to admit that he's poly.
Jesus is saying, listen, that the purpose of the Ten Commandments was never that they would give you an opportunity to prove how obedient you can be to God. Jesus is saying the purpose of the Ten Commandments is for us to recognize our own natural incapacity to live in the way God wants us to.
No, I think the purpose of the Ten Commandments was for people to listen to the commandments. That's a really weird like, oh, we're going to give you these rules just so you know that you can't keep them. We don't actually want you to keep the rules. What?
The Ten Commandments are meant to show us our need for God's forgiveness. They're meant to establish that the only basis on which we will have a relationship with God is His forgiveness, not our performance.
Oh, this is a common... the whole thing about, like, oh, you can only be forgiven by God, it's nothing that you can do. They use that a lot to, like, shame people at this church. And again, this is a guest speaker, that's why he's fucking British. But that idea that, like, you're so filthy that you have to rely on God to be saved... Constant. Oh, hold on.
Hello.
Hey. We were just learning about how we have
Hey.
adulterous hearts.
Yeah, I just kind of tuned in just a second ago, and not to give you like any notes on Atheist Sunday School, but normally we don't play like real church. Like it'd be like there isn't a God.
Oh,
type of
so I shouldn't be...
content more.
Shouldn't be
It
like...
just seems like you're playing audio from a church, like as if, is this a worship session you're doing, or what's going on?
Oh, you didn't hear?
I just got here at the end of it. Was that you, a recording of you at church talking?
Yeah.
We were just finding out how God wants us to use our bodies, though.
Okay, that's actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, and how we have adulterous hearts, and how when you sleep with someone, your body makes promises.
Is that true?
Yeah, it is. Apparently,
Oh.
a British guy said it has to be.
That's the like grounding
Yeah.
of the truth.
American
That's a
guy
really
says
funny-
something, total bullshit.
Yeah. Next time some Phil bro comes up and is like, "How do you ground truth?" And like, what's your fundamental knowledge of truth? Well, if a British guy says
British guy says it has to be true.
that's pretty much
It
it.
must. It absolutely must. Yes.
That checks. Was Jesus British? I don't think so. Right?
That's how we know that he wasn't God.
Proof. Okay, well, I just wanted to say hello real quick. Sorry to interrupt. Hey, Rat, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I got T restricted. That was the only bad thing, so I'm kind of ashamed about that. But other than that, I'm all right.
I don't know if you guys should share that stuff on the live if you're like using like restriction stuff or like tie down things in the bed.
He's gonna get
I don't know.
punished for it later.
That might, because you might get in trouble from TikTok if you do that, and then
Oh,
you
we might
a
get
restriction.
restricted.
Okay, so when I mention the crops, I need to make it very clear that I'm talking about all the wheat I have, right?
And not the riding crop that we had to replace, but then found the old ones, and now we have 2 riding crops.
Crop. I'm a prude. What's a crop?
It's like the thing that you beat a horse with when it doesn't go fast enough.
Oh, okay. Like
So it's just-
like a
It's like a stick with like a tag at the end
that
kind
little
of thing.
tag. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I never knew that's what they were called.
Yeah, so it's a little riding crop.
Okay.
It's what you use if you want your mount to go fast.
It's like flexible, so when you swing it in the air, it'll like curve slightly and then straighten out.
I'm just looking it up on Google Shopping.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like really-
that is how you spell it. Oh, interesting.
It's like a fly swatter, but for ass.
Yeah, don't use a fly swatter. That's a,
Classy.
for a bedroom toy, a fly swatter. Yeah, well, it's dual purpose. We use it around the house for flies, and then bring it in here.
And then we also hang on to like the plastic from our 6-packs as well. For
Right.
handcuffs are expensive.
Sure.
Where are ours? Never mind.
Well, fish use those for like strangulation kinks. I
Yeah,
think.
autoerotic asphyxiation.
Fish love that. I remember I've talked about.
Asphyxiation.
Oh, that's good. That's
They're
really
fish. Thank you.
good. Yeah, they can, and the thing is, they can hold their breath for so long.
Yeah, they don't have to come up out of the water. It's impressive.
No, that's what they're doing. They're all underwater, holding their breath because they love how that feels. They could come up and breathe there, but they're underwater. It's like, oh yeah.
What a bunch of freaks.
Fuck yeah,
I've
feeling the
said
water
this
in my
before.
gills.
How like I remember as a kid being warned about like don't like you have to cut these 6-pack things, right? Because when
still
they get in the
do.
ocean, I know, right? Like that got indoctrinated into us, and no one was like, wait a minute, why are we putting this in the ocean?
Yeah.
Like so it's okay, we cut it and now we can just throw our trash in the ocean? Like, what the heck? Yeah, it's so weird that never crossed my mind until I was like late 30s. I was still cutting them, and then I was like, well, these shouldn't be going to the ocean at all. And mine probably aren't. They're like in a bag in a landfill somewhere,
That's also
I
not
get the
fun to
cardboard
think
box
about.
ones now.
Maybe the landfill will get flooded one day or something, though. You never know.
That's
Yeah.
true.
We can only hope. All right, well, hey, just wanted to leave on a high note, something really happy to get everyone excited about, bring the live up a notch. So the landfills are going to flood with climate change, and the fish are all going to strangle. So that's great news. And have a nice Sunday, everyone. Thanks for
We're gonna
having
get
me.
back to our worship if you don't mind. Just like
Yeah,
leaving
again,
us
don't
alone.
say that. Like, just it's
We're gonna-
anti-worship. It's better if you're gonna block me.
I don't know the words you're saying. So back to the sermon.
Anyway, that's why I never drink water. Just fish fucking it.
That's why I drink a lot of water.
Because fish fucking it.
Well, yeah, you kind of ruined. Never mind. Back to the sermon.
Now, I'm from England, and therefore I should not talk to you about dentistry. But we do have dentists in England. This may be news to some of us.
Where's it going with
I think
this?
there are at least 15 in the whole country that I'm aware of. And I would have a checkup every year maybe, and this is I'd schedule the appointment for the morning, try and get it done and over with. And the morning of a dentist appointment, I would brush my teeth really, really well. Extra effort, many minutes would be spent.
What the fuck does this?
I'd burn most of my calories for the day just brushing my teeth. There'd be blood pouring out of my mouth by the end of the time.
Okay, dude.
So I would go to the dentist, and the dentist would do the usual dentisty things in the chair, kind of.
Why
like
is
I'm
he
missing
going
so
on?
much.
He's going on a rant about going to the dentist. He's trying to make it funny. It is just not.
Recline it back a bit, and they do this thing. If you don't know how to be a dentist, I'm explaining to you so you can now be a dentist. You get basically a paper clip, unravel it, then poke someone in the gums for about 10 minutes. That's being a dentist. So that's how that works. And then at one point they would give me like a cup of some
Okay, I'm
pink
gonna skip
liquid. That
ahead.
means there is no place for looking
They
down on
left,
someone
so he would
else
stop.
because of their sexual sin. There's no place for demeaning somebody else. Jesus levels the playing field. He puts all of us in exactly the same boat, which is, yep, your heart's adulterous.
Yeah, so we all just suck. We all just equally suck. That's fine.
In other words, if there's one kind of sexual sinner that Jesus isn't good news for, he's not good news for any of us.
Come on now.
We're in this thing together. But wonderfully, Jesus didn't just come to show us what our hearts are like. He came to forgive us.
This cadence is so annoying. I'm sorry, but just the ba-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. Just
He
like
came
I'm
to
there.
be good news for sexual sinners. That's why he needs us to realize we are sexual sinners.
we are sexual sinners.
So Jesus is uniquely challenging, but secondly, Jesus is uniquely dignifying. We can see what Jesus is saying about the person who's doing the lustful looking.
Okay, I'm skipping ahead
It's
again.
the highest form of love.
Oh, now there's two guys.
We miss most of what the Bible says about love. So it's interesting. I officiate at weddings quite a lot. I'm a pastor. That's one of the perks of the job. You get to officiate at weddings. And I'm amazed at how many times people choose for their wedding a passage from the Bible that is all about love, but it's not about romantic love. Okay, most of the Bible verses you're thinking of right now, if you know Scripture, that are passages you associate with romantic love, they're actually
What is
about the love of the kind of brother-sister love we're meant to have as the people of God. But we read those passages and we read romantic love into them, and we miss what the Bible is calling all of us to, a much richer, broader.
God, he's saying nothing. He's really saying nothing. I wish this was more I thought it was going to be like condemning sexual immorality, but no, it's just him saying absolutely nothing. I'm going to go, I listened to one in particular the other day, and I'm going to pull that one up. I don't know why I was torturing myself with this. Let's go. So this is the main pastor's sermon, and it's called Repentance, and it's about Psalm 51 and 2 Samuel 11 and 12. Those who have been on here before might be familiar with 2 Samuel 11 and 12. So in 2 Samuel 12 is when God decides to kill David's baby, and also have his wives raped. So let's see what this pastor gets out of that section.
Because David realizes something that I believe we often fail to see with our own sin, and that is that first and foremost, our sin, before we sin against others, we've sinned against God. See, our sin always first begins as a sin against God before it affects others, and true confession requires this understanding. And as David's sin progressed, yes, certainly other people were hurt, but the whole thing didn't start in the bed with Bathsheba. I don't even think it started on the rooftop. I think it started probably in his youth, when he started entertaining and lingering on certain fantasies.
So it wasn't a sin against Bathsheba when he raped her. It wasn't a sin against Uriah when David sent him off to die. It was a sin against God because he went against what God wanted for him.
It really
weird
blows my
reframing.
mind. Yeah. Like I remember hearing this story a lot as a kid, and even though I don't remember it being specifically this bad, it was kind of similar to where like all of the punishments were just kind of glossed over as like, oh yeah, that's just what happens. That's just
Yeah.
how it goes. Like it's trying to remove it from like God's action, even though God is literally bragging about doing it in the passage itself. You know, I don't know how I managed to, for so many years, just overlook passages like this. But when you're getting sermons like this, it kind of makes it a little bit more explainable in some ways, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
I'm gonna keep on playing it.
And then I believe as he became the king, he probably started to believe that because he was in a position of power or in a position where life is stressful and everybody's asking him to make decisions and he's getting criticism and feedback constantly, and he probably started to think he was above everybody else, he was entitled to things, and that God's law didn't apply to him the same way to others, because after all, he's special. And I defeated Goliath, I'm the king, aren't I entitled to something? See, I think David's sin began much earlier in his life when he started making these justifications. And his sin was first and foremost against God before it ever became about others. Essentially, David was like, God has given him so much. And by going and taking Bathsheba,
This is just really gross and weird David glazing.
it's like David's like saying, God, you've given me all these incredible things, and yet that's not enough. I still want more. I want the things you told me I can't have. And so, yeah.
He keeps acting like greed is the sin here. He raped a woman and had her husband killed.
Yes, David committed adultery, but his sin began when he failed to love God with all his heart, soul, mind, and strength. His sin began as an act against the will of God. Tim Keller says this. He says, when David says, against you and you only have I sinned, he says, this is David's way of saying that before I committed sexual adultery, God, I committed spiritual adultery.
He committed spiritual adultery. Baby ever committed spiritual adultery?
Yeah, I think we do that every time we roleplay.
All right, resuming the video.
David says, God, I ran into her
Love
arms
you.
because I wasn't resting in yours. God, I was drawn to her beauty because I took my eyes off of yours. See, all of our sin, before it's against others, is always against God. And David sees that in this moment. He says, against you and you only have I sinned. David's not minimizing the pain he's caused others, I don't think, but rather he's going to the source of his sin. He's going, where's the root of it, God? The root of it is that I took my eyes off of you. That's his confession.
No, the root of the sin is that you raped a woman. Why do we keep acting like...
What did he call the root of it?
So gross. That David took his eyes off God.
Oh, then that was the real harm.
Mm-hmm.
And then he continues, verse 6, he says, behold, you delight in truth in the inward being, and you teach me wisdom in the secret heart. Purge me with hyssop, and I'll be clean. Wash me, and I'll be whiter than snow. Let me hear joy and gladness. Let the bones that you have broken rejoice. Hide your face from my sins and blot out all my iniquities. Create in me a clean...
Okay, he's just going to continue to read it.
right here. And what you need to know is this: there's no precedent for this kind of language in the Bible, for an individual to speak to God this way. For an individual to say to God, God, what about your mercy? God, can you cleanse me to a point where it would be as if I never sinned in the first place? That is a bold prayer.
And stuff like this is kind of the root of some of the self-hatred is that, like, you need to be cleansed because you are dirty. The only one who can do it is God. I think that shows up a lot in some of my old prayer journals where it's like, forgive me because I'm so horrible, I need to be forgiven. I was just parroting the stuff that I was being told every single Sunday. This is not the pastor that was there when I was there, but he like studied under the pastor and took over for him. And it's very, very similar messaging to what I was told when I was younger. Yeah, it's pretty horrible to be told as a child that you are wicked and sinful, and it's like you internalize that to be any little thing, any mistake that you make is just a reflection of a wicked nature, of some sort of inherent evil. And that is such a damaging mindset to carry as a child. I mean, you are in like early stages of development. That is just not healthy.
I want to talk a minute about the lessons that like young boys and like teenagers are getting from these passages, like when they split off everyone and then they tell the guys, because someone in the comments is talking about it, but like David is mentioned specifically as a man after God's own heart. And like this sort of this Old Testament example of what like the perfect follower of God ought to look like, who God really appreciates in a follower. David's supposed to have all of these qualities, right? And so all of these things were presented to like me when I was younger is like, hey, see how much God loves David no matter what David does? Is sort of like the lessons being given is like, you can do anything you want to any other people in the world. You can treat people however you want. But if you put God first and say he's the number one thing in your life, and if you say it's all for him, you can do whatever you want and God will still love you and forgive you from everything that you do. While you're being told about shame and guilt and stuff like this, quite often guys are being told about how, yeah, there's all this shame and guilt and stuff, but it's all can be forgiven so long as you just have a faith in God and you're being manly for God. Like all of this stuff can fall by the wayside for males if you're passionate and dedicated enough. And it's really, really gross and sets a lot of bad precedents and examples that I think we see in a lot of the people we talk to.
Yeah. There is kind of that like get out of jail free of like whatever you do, as long as you're doing it for God, you can ask for forgiveness, blah, blah, blah. And when I talk to like believers who say, that Jeffrey Dahmer went to heaven, but, a Jewish child would go to hell. It kind of shows off why that mindset fails. Because the idea that you can only achieve goodness through God, that's just, it breaks down really easily under scrutiny. It's gross. It's gross. I'm gonna keep playing now.
And then he says, blot out my iniquities. Y'all, that's incredibly fascinating. Blot it out. This is 1,000 years before Ephesians 1 verse 7, where Paul writes, in him we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of sins. David asked God to do something, I believe, and I've read my Bible and I believe this to be true. David is asking something that no other individual has asked God to do at this point in history.
What? How could he possibly make that claim? We would have no idea if David was the first person to ask God to blot out his sins. To say he's the first one in history? What? That is a claim that you could not substantiate. Anyway.
He says, God, what about your mercy? See, before this, sinners typically were attached to their sin. And when God wipes out sin, he takes out sinners with him. Think about Genesis 6, the flood.
Which is
God sent a flood. He
horrible.
blotted out sin from the world by blotting out humanity.
No, he
Think
committed
about
genocide.
Genesis 12, the Tower of Babel. How did God blots out sin by blotting out people? Up to this point, when sin escalates, God starts over with humanity. But David here asks, is it possible, God, according to your steadfast love, that you could blot out my sin but leave me whole? Is it possible, God, that you could blot out my sin while not blotting me out? Is it possible to kill my sin but leave me whole? And that begins a theme that will run all throughout the scriptures, where God punishes sin while restoring the sinner.
Punishes sin while restoring the sinner. Restoring. We're talking about 2 Samuel 12, and he says that God restores the sinner. So he restored the sinner by unaliving his baby and having his wives raped. That's
Always
God's
protecting-
restoration.
Always protecting the abuser, never the victim.
Doug Debug, thank you for the hanging lights. That's just so gross.
And nowhere is this more evident than on the cross of Christ, where God places all of our sin onto the shoulders of his son Jesus and pours out the just punishment for our sin onto his son. And Jesus willingly endured it for the joy set before him so that our sins could be paid for and that we could walk free and so that we could be cleansed.
Okay. If we're being consistent here, then technically shouldn't Jesus have been raped? I'm just asking.
See, through Jesus, we have the answer to David's prayer. Is it possible for you to blot out my sin without blotting me out? Yes, through Christ alone. See, you will never move from your sin to repentance to wholeness to restoration until you get this. Because most of us, what we think of confession is
Wholeness. So you can't achieve wholeness without Jesus, is what they're telling you. That in order to be a whole person, you have to be.
Can I achieve your whole?
All right. Resuming.
Confession and repentance is, God, I'm really sorry. I did something wrong. What do I got to do to make it right? Right? I did this thing. God, what do I need to do? How many days in a row do I need to go without a mistake before I don't feel guilty anymore? God, how many days in a row do I need to go without a mistake before I can pray to you again? God, what prayer do I need to pray? What punishment do I need to give myself? But what we're doing when we do that is we're putting the process of our forgiveness and our restoration into our own hands. And the problem with this is if you do this, you will never fully trust, love, cherish, and worship God because you'll never know if you've done enough to please him.
And that, this is horrible, right? Because if, for someone like myself who was a nervous little child listening to this, I'm like, there's nothing that I can do to make this feeling of guilt go away, because they place this guilt on you and then tell you that there's no way to get rid of it except what they're telling you to do. It's, ugh. They're giving you the guilt, saddling you with it, and telling you that there's nothing that you can do to get rid of it. You just have to follow their instructions and trust that God will somehow get rid of it. And that's why in like a lot of my old prayers, it's like, please take this away from me. I know that I can't forgive myself. Only you can do it. It's, oof. It is such emotional manipulation. And I know so much of that congregation is so young. There's a lot of college kids in that congregation as well. Just no wonder there's so much self-loathing among people in the church.
You'll never know if you've done enough.
Did they ever tell you to pray for sins that you might have forgotten about, just in case you were forgetting, and so you should ask for forgiveness for those in case you were ignorant of the sins you were committing?
Not that I remember, but I would kind of do that anyway. Just like, if I did something that I didn't realize was a sin, please forgive me.
They specifically brought up in Rome how they had like this altar to an unknown god. And first of all, they said that of course they were waiting for Jesus to be there, like in Rome, that's why they had this altar to the unknown god. They also compared it to like how you should in your own life you should be so afraid of God. You should have so much fear for God that you are proactively seeking out all of the evil in your life and being repentant for it before you're even aware of it. If you're a real Christian, you'd be doing these sorts of things.
Interesting.
But the message of Jesus' mercy is that he forgives, he restores through taking on your sin onto himself and dying for it in your place. And the call is then to receive it and to walk in it. And I've told this story before, but years ago I was a college pastor, and I had a college student. Man, he was just the best kid.
Was he the best kid?
He was, just one of those all-American boys, never did anything wrong, grew up in church, and was a leader in our ministry, was just...
This is the exact kind of language they use about boys after they grape someone.
Committed to Jesus, was just a great guy. And but then one night in particular, he kind of got swept up with his buddies, And he did not just one, but 2 or 3 or 4 things that he didn't even think he would ever do. Just one of those nights where the wheels fell off.
Oh, fuck. It really sounds like he might have actually raped someone, doesn't it? Oh, I don't like the way that they're describing that. I really don't fucking like that. Oh.
And he just was totally ashamed. How could I have done that? I never thought I would do this thing. And he calls me up and he says, Will, I need to talk to you about this. I said, well, come meet me in my office on Monday morning. And so he comes into my office and he's just, typically this is a guy who's just shoulders up, straight, confident. And he walks into my office just shoulders slouched and just defeated.
Oh,
he tells me
guy.
all that he did. God, man, Will, I can't believe I did this and that. And he said, what do I need to do? And I said to him, well, man, I said, the scriptures tell us that you should throw yourself on God's mercy, receive his forgiveness, and thank God for Jesus who paid for your sins so that you don't have to.
So I'm not going to automatically assume that this boy did rape someone. It kind of sounds like he might have. Especially that this is the example given during the David and Bathsheba sermon. Don't love that. But just pay attention to the language that he used to describe this boy. That he was all-American, never did anything wrong, and he just got swept up in it one night. He got swept up in it one night and he did things that he never thought that he would do. And he felt so bad about it. He was slumped over and he was not feeling confident, and he just couldn't believe that he had done something so horrible. All of this is language protecting the perpetrator. It is horrifying. Like, because this is specifically trying to frame this like angelic picture of this boy, man, kid. I don't know how old this person was. And to like, oh, he just made an oopsie whoopsie one time and he wanted to be forgiven for it. But that's the sort of language we hear repeated after a woman is raped. That like, oh, but he's such a great guy. He would never do that. And that's why it takes so fucking long for men to be held accountable after they commit those sorts of acts. That's why such a tiny percentage of rapists actually end up getting convicted.
And
now,
what's especially...
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say what's really terrible is this idea that all sins are the same as any other sin. So whether this kid had actually gone and raped someone or had just been caught watching porn, he would have been treated the exact same way and treated as if it was the exact same offense.
Yeah, it's if it's not directly protecting predators, it's setting up for predators to be protected. That's just really, really gross. And this is just like a tiny part of this sermon that most people kind of just gloss over, right? You wouldn't stop and really think to analyze like, okay, well, what does he mean by he was like a good boy who did some bad things, you know? Those are the sort of things that kind of fly over your head that you just internalize.
Stand up straight and you keep following him. And I said that and I was like, that's pretty good. That's pretty good pastoral counsel right there. And he looked at me and he said, Will, I've done all that already. I have repented. I have asked forgiveness. But I need to know, what do I do now? How do I make it right? And I said, well, man, you throw yourself on God's mercy. You receive his forgiveness. You thank God for Jesus who paid for that sin so that you don't have to. You stand up straight and you keep following him.
So you don't have to be held accountable for your actions. Interesting.
And he was like, man, I just don't know. And what was the problem there? What was the disconnect in his mind? The problem is that young man in that moment was not fully convinced that Jesus had fully forgiven him.
No, I don't think that's the problem. The problem is that he did something that was so bad he felt the need to come ask his pastor how he could be forgiven for it. But he's not actually going to be held accountable in any way. Because he's being taught that Jesus died for his sins. So... It is Darvo. It's absolutely Darvo. I'm sure that if he did go into more detail and it was some sort of like sexual crime, that we would hear why it was actually the victim's fault. It's a little bit sickening, but just teaching this kid that like, oh, well, Jesus has forgiven you, so it's okay, you're a good boy, you follow Jesus. You don't have to actually take accountability for your actions because Jesus already did it for you.
The next time a young lady puts herself in a compromising position around you,
Uh-huh.
how many times have you heard a phrase like that?
Oh,
It's skin crawling.
And said the cross was enough. And he felt like he had to add something to the cross of Christ. And I'm here to tell you, you can never add to the mercy and the forgiveness of Jesus. So stop trying. God's grace was never meant to be earned.
Happy
It was
ass,
meant to
Doug
be
D-Bug.
received and rested in. And so if you're here today and you are in your darkest moment, your darkest shame, your darkest guilt, I'm telling you,
not praying on
I'm
a
standing on the
vulnerable.
authority of the scriptures. God is calling you to do what David did, which is to throw yourself on the mercy of God, who in Christ has covered all of your sin. He has blotted out your sin, and he has left
They're
you
definitely
whole
going for
by the power of the gospel.
vulnerable
He
people
has
right now.
cleansed you, and he wants to restore you. And the call of Jesus is to believe it, to receive it, and then to respond in worship. And that's what David did. David in verse 13, he says, I will teach transgressors your ways, and sinners will return to you. Deliver me from blood
All right, I'm
guiltiness,
gonna
O
skip
God,
ahead.
O God
You
of my
guys don't need to
salvation.
hear
And my
this.
tongue will sing aloud of your righteousness. O
Hello?
Lord, open my lips, a broken and David says, God, I believe you can forgive me. I believe you can restore me. And by doing that, I can tell a great story of how a sinner has been saved by the grace of God. And I will spend the rest of my life worshiping you and telling others of your kindness like never before. And if you're here, if you're a follower of Jesus, if you've been forgiven of the things you've done, you have a story to share just like David. I saw one author wrote, he said, what if the parts of our story that we'd like to erase become in the end the parts that we sing of forever?
David raped a woman and had her husband killed. What if the parts of the story we want to erase are the parts that we sing of forever? Okay. There was one more part I remembered that I wanted to get to, but I don't know if I can keep doing this, you guys. Let's do a re-poll. Let's see how we're still feeling after actually having to listen to some of this shit. Because it's heavier than I thought it would be. It's kind of tough to hear.
Kind of glad I can't.
So smiley for keep listening, frowny for stop listening. All right, getting a lot of stops. Getting some keeps. Not that many, though.
You know, when I was a kid, they told me that, you know, lusting after a woman in your heart was the same as committing adultery.
Yeah.
But like when trying to figure out what that actually meant, they pretty much defined it to me as finding a woman attractive is committing adultery.
Damn.
Was more or less how that ended up being for me.
All right. It's actually closer than I thought, but the vote is to stop listening. That was really gross. I'll try to pre-screen some of the particular stuff I want to listen to if we do this again. 'Cause yeah, that got much heavier than I thought that it would. Boring and depressing. Yeah, that's fair.
Nate, that's not true. Julius Caesar wrote his own books. We have them. Anyway, you should request up though, Nate.
I invited him.
Oh, good. Well, I think I'm going to let you go, so I won't bully your next guest or anything.
But what if I fall?
You fall? Oh, fine. I guess I'll stick around. Nate's not in space or something.
Space isn't real.
But yeah, well, then Nate, I'll go into it a little bit more. But yeah, the argument about people did not prove he existed. There isn't very much proof of Jesus' existence at all. There actually isn't even much proof of Paul's existence. And Paul is one of the earliest quote unquote writers around Jesus, but most of Paul's stuff doesn't appear until Marcion. So there just really isn't much great evidence of Jesus. We don't have any of his writings. We don't have any first person eyewitness accounts. We don't have any letters sent to him or from him or about him. All of these things we have for Julius Caesar. just as a very slim example.
Well said.
You're well said.
What?
Huh?
I do wonder why there's been so few requests lately.
I've been hearing talk about it on other lives. I think they may be doing something with algorithm to not push disagreeing content to people as much. Because I notice when I scroll myself, I'm getting more atheist feeds than Christian feeds, even though I usually actually engage on Christian feeds more.
Interesting. See, I was on YouTube scrolling through shorts, and I watched like one street preacher's short, and now my entire YouTube shorts feed is just Christian content, which is hilarious for me. I'm saving them to react to later because I find some of them actually pretty funny. But yeah, they just decided like, oh, this person must want to watch Christians constantly. It's mostly that one guy. It's like Nicholas something. He does stuff with Turning Point, and he'll just go out and he'll just be like, yeah, Jesus wants me to speak the truth, so I'm just doing what Jesus told me to do. And he'll be like harassing people at Pride, and they'll be like, why are you here? And he's like, Jesus told me to speak the truth. Oh, I'm getting Cliff too. I'm getting some Cliff as well.
Some Cliff Notes?
No, he's one of the street preachers who's been at it for a long while. You hit not interested every time. I'm a masochist, so I save it to my private playlist called Insane Christians. I used part of a Girl Defined YouTube short as an audition monologue recently because I thought it was funny, and it was. It was about how Colleen Hoover's books are basically pornography. I thought it was funny. It was pretty good. And what stinks is, like, Girl Defined is the type of channel that I would used to, like, watch when I was younger. And I didn't watch them specifically, but it's the sort of thing that I would consume when I was younger, because you gotta only consume media that glorifies the Lord. Ew. Girl Defined, yeah, they are crazy. I still kind of have hope for them to start deconstructing, especially now that at least one of their husbands has.
Really?
Yeah. That was a big thing. I think it was Dave, it was Bethany's husband, who kind of went through deconstruction and kind of just stepped back from their content. As far as I know, they are. They've talked about being in an interfaith marriage now, but he was very, very Christian when they did get married, so seems like it'd be a difficult thing to navigate. Yeah, they're not equally yoked now. I said it like that on purpose.
Are we yoked? Do you want to get yoked?
I'll yoke you.
Jesus.
James, if you want to come up and talk about it, you can.
Chinsanity. Yeah, Nate, we are trying to find truth. I know you've been indoctrinated. Sorry. But it's just not true. Especially with silly claims about there being more evidence for Jesus than Caesar.
We should totally just stab Caesar!
Hey, good idea. I'm like, I don't know how many other people have Rome headcanons, but for me, the reason that Brutus stabbed Caesar in the crotch is because he was Caesar's secret son. And there's like some not impossible evidence for this, because Caesar and Brutus's mother were extremely close, like openly lovers. And he was like, from the time Brutus was like a very, very young child. So like this was an affair that lasted something like 30, 40 years between Julius and I think her name was Lucretia. Ooh. So there's like a solid chance that Brutus was actually Caesar's son.
I love that you have a Rome headcanon.
Wait till we get to the Catalan conspiracy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and so one of Caesar is so supposedly "you too, my son" is one of the more close things that Caesar is said to has said to Brutus.
Nate, if you're not gonna come up, you're gonna have to be quiet. Sorry. Just annoying the shit out of me with all the whining. You guys have no respect for believers. If you're
I
gonna
have
be a little
respect for
crybaby,
First
then
Peter
no.
3:15. First Peter 3:15 says you're a bitch.
Yeah, they're always like, I'm leaving now. I'm leaving, and no one can stop me. No one can. Even if someone told me that they really wanted me to stay, I'm still leaving. Even if someone, you know. As it's been said before on the stream, it's not an airport. You do not have to announce your departure. Meanwhile, we're all shouting by and shoving them out the door. Pretty accurate. Oh! Rat Soup decided he doesn't love me anymore. You guys just saw that. It happened in real time. He didn't have to announce his departure, I guess.
Wait, I thought it was an airport. I thought I didn't have to say anything.
Okay. That's true. He can come through the door behind me and scare the shit out of me. He's done it more than once. Sometimes I hear him coming. Not always. Bits are more important than love. Maybe so, maybe so. I just heard a door cracking. I'm gonna just preemptively flip him off behind my head.
Mute me, bitch.
Read you like a goddamn book! It was only for a minute. He's just being very, very dramatic. It feels late in the game to restart on TikTok, because I was gonna call it in about 10 minutes. So I think I'm just gonna call it a little bit early. Slow day today, but that's alright.
Hello.
Hi, sorry. Joshua accepted your invite. I wasn't even looking at the screen.
Since you're only, going to be around for like 10 minutes or so, I figured this would be a good time to jump up and tell the story about how I got caught or like outed as an atheist at work on Friday.
Okay, what happened?
So I watch live streams all day long on my computer while I'm working because it's boring as fuck. And I had one up, and usually I'm really quick to like cover the window or, close it. And he just came around my desk so fast, and he's like, God isn't real? And I was like, yeah, close it, X out. And he's a gossip, so I know he's going to tell everybody at work on Monday.
Interesting. It doesn't seem like something that's like super gossip worthy. So maybe he won't.
Yeah. Oh no, he definitely will.
Damn.
Like 1,000%. Yeah. So it'll be fun.
I'm sure it will. My work, I'm also kind of like isolated from the rest of the people, so I sometimes will put on something to listen to. I haven't had anyone like walk up behind me yet, though. We'll see.
Yeah, and it's like the way my desk is, you have to come around only one side, and I'm in a corner, so it's like usually never an issue, but man, I just really hope nobody says anything because I stopped smoking, so I'm like angry as fuck right now.
Well, good for you on stopping smoking, though. I know that's tough.
Oh no, I probably need it for the gardening smoking. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, I hope that goes well for you. Thank you for coming up, and make sure you keep on doing your atheisms this week. Seems like you already are.
I try every day, man. You gotta do one at least, right?
Hell yeah, at least. Bonus points if you do more than one.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I have
they
that
like
authority
multiply
now.
the more you do?
It's not multiply, they just like accumulate.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can like save up. They do roll over.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I gotta have like so many atheisms saved
A lot
up.
of atheisms.
Where do I cash them in? Can I get like one of those big giant stuffed animals yet? How many atheisms do you need for that?
No, you need a lot more atheisms for that. No, it's rigged against you. You might have enough for like a little rubber ducky.
What about a kazoo?
We're out of kazoos. They're really popular.
Shit. All right. Well, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. Have a good rest of your week. All right. Inumaki, I see you, but I am trying to wrap it up. So I am going to go ahead and call it. We're going to go over say hey to Bible Guy. So tell Bible Guy hello for me. Have a good rest of your week, and remember to keep doing your atheisms.